Live from the wastelands of the internet, I've come once again. Only this time I have Jensen as a minder to prevent me from getting another community strike or warning. At least that's what I'm hoping he's able to do. Not really, but I really don't care. But I did get a warning for yesterday's little rant concerning my opinion on certain things going on with the medical field. We'll just leave it at that. And I also have B with us today. Say hi to the folks, B.
Hello, folks.
Very Batman-like, very Jensen-like. Thank you very much. They're here to keep me company, be my little minders, and also go over little things that they have their own little points of view on. So let's get started, shall we? We'll just rush right into this. Dun-dun-dun-dun. 4 seriously injured after Hamas gunman opens fire on bus in West Bank attack. 4 people
Go on,
were
say it. You know you want to.
Four people were injured by gunfire. 3 of them seriously in Israel Friday after a Hamas gunman started shooting at a bus in an occupied West Bank city of Ariel, according to authorities. Paramedics were treating 4 others for minor injuries related to shrapnel from broken glass. Israel's National Ambulance Service confirmed it on X. The driver of the bus was the most seriously injured of the 8, 4 of which were Israeli Defense Forces soldiers. All of the injured people were taken to the hospital. Okay. The gunman was killed in the attack. Why am I bringing up this story? I'm bringing up this story because I got irritated when they set up. People were telling me that the West Bank doesn't have Hamas. Okay. The reality is this is the situation in there is not stable. It's not going to be stable because you're dealing with the 12th century culture.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want to calm things down. Seriously, we as the United States have the ability to calm things down there in this region. You know how?
B-52.
Not one.
Okay, B-52 multiple.
What we should be doing is we should be ramping up a B-52 fleet, right? And go over to Yemen and tell the Houthis, we've had enough of you. The next time you fire a freaking missile or a drone at any ship in the Gulf, you cease to exist. It's just that simple. And when they come back and fire one, because they'll do it almost immediately, right? Yeah. You go wave by wave, bombing their cities into absolute dirt. Going grid by grid, and when they come back and go, okay, we will stop. You say, are those leaders that ordered it dead yet? Nope. Keep the bombing going. Let us know when you guys are no longer going to be freaking a bunch of 12th century freaking towel heads. Because that's the only thing that they'll understand.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to I'm putting it in a very stark, verbiage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's brutal. And it sounds cold. But what other choices are going to be out there? B, would you be willing to go out there and hand them cookies?
Let's get blunt here. If she went out and handed them cookies, it's likely to be anything in those cookies.
Well, okay.
Cough, cough. I think we can think of a few things.
Who's got cookies?
You know, she only heard the word cookie, right?
I did only hear the word cookies. I was dealing with Panda.
Do you want to hand out the cookies from the B-52?
Yeah. Special express delivery cookies. £500 cookies, I believe.
80 at a time.
Oh, that would be such a shame.
No, look. I mean, the reality is that this situation, all right, isn't going to change anytime soon because that's the culture that you're dealing with. And
yes, and hey, Sharati.
Hello, Sharati.
Hi, Sharati. I can't hear you.
No, not that is really bad. Your connection is awful, hon. Sorry. Anyway,
Yeah, I can't
we're
hear her
about to
either.
blow up the Houthis. No, we're about to blow up the Houthis. What's the plan?
Well, that's all you have to do. If you prove that you're serious, the rest of the rest of the
Oh,
go ahead, Shardy.
Is now.
hey, yes, we heard you. Hello.
I got a now.
My God, I'm gonna kill you, MC. Where you be?
I'm not even sure what she said.
She
I
said
get
she's
like 1 in 3 words.
Mm-hmm.
All I came in here to do was to say hi to B. The rest of you don't matter.
That's fair. I don't.
Yes, it's true.
And why are you stating the obvious? Oh, that's right. Your cyborgs have to repeat everything from a literal standpoint.
Oh, come on.
He talk.
I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
I said, let B talk, not me talk. Hello.
I,
Hello.
I, 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 I don't think I was not letting B talk. B is more than welcome to talk.
Yes. What I would like to say to Shorty is, can you see B's icon? How adorable is that?
B's always been adorable.
All right, fair
And
point.
still likes me better than you. And that's why Ange likes me better than you.
This is unfortunately not necessarily wrong. And hey to Princess if I did hear the hello earlier.
Oh, she heard you. She's standing right next to me, and that's why I keep muting my mic.
Ah, okay. Oh, she's pointing how useless you are. Gotcha. I understand completely.
And the brutality
But
on the
anyway,
show continues.
sorry. Did you think there was going to be anything less
I,
than
I
this?
I was the one who was bringing up bombing beef, the Houthis back into the Stone Age. So
I support that. By the way, I'm totally okay with. Then again, you guys really need to make more. Change your £500 bombs to £500 napalm strikes. Just saying, it would
well,
deal with the problem.
okay. The problem with using napalm in a desert is it just doesn't have the same effect. Okay.
No. But I would like it noted. A lot of this stuff is in cities, and napalm and cities, they're a great mix. Come on, you got to admit
Well,
that.
I mean, we
I
need to.
do feel that nukes would be better.
We're trying to avoid nukes.
Why are we trying to avoid the best option here?
Because we don't want the enemy glowing in the dark. No, okay, that was my idea. I'm okay with nukes. Go with it. Though again, you're only allowed to nuke the Houthis if you agree to send at least one nuke Paris.
Well, the
Just
thing is,
generally.
generally, if a nuke's going to get thrown, you'd have to sit up there and basically. There are opportunities within which you could do it. All right. However, you've got to
Yes.
make deals with some of the other nuclear powers. You got to have to give the
Not.
Russians a free nuke, and you got to have to give China a free nuke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At the time period in when 9/11 happened, we had the opportunity to say, look, we're throwing a nuke. Kandahar is going to be erased. All right. You guys get one free nuke. The Chechens would have been wiped out because the Russians were ready to deal with them permanently, right? And the Chinese would have
Yep.
said, well, okay, we don't have a Uyghur problem anymore.
No. Come on. They would have turned East Taiwan into East Taiwan flatland.
Taiwan, yeah.
No, I don't think they would. Okay, they want Taiwan. They want it intact. They do not want to nuke it.
Mm,
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna ask because you'll probably know more than I would. Why do they want Taiwan, or is it just a pride thing? Because I think it's just a pride thing now.
No, it's okay. What do you have in Taiwan? You've got a massive tech sector, all right, for the world there,
True.
and it's right there for the taking. Okay, from an
Yeah.
economic standpoint, it would fit right along in there where they could get rid of a lot of other problem children that they have within their groups, including, let's be perfectly frank, what's left of Hong Kong. they have destroyed most of the Hong Kong sectors now.
Yes.
All right. Why? Because they implemented communist idealism in there, and of course, it's turning to shit.
Yes.
And
This
so,
is
like a
true.
virus, they
And
need a new thing to corrupt.
I was looking at Taiwan the other day on Google Maps, and it actually looks quite nice.
Mm.
I was quite surprised. I was expecting to see a shithole, but it was clean. They had my shops.
Look, I'm no expert, but apparently it is actually really nice. It's literally, it's the West in the East, for want of a better term.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So, sorry, man, go on.
Taiwan would be the perfect place for it. I mean, for this, they have no intention of, like I said, nuking Taiwan because they want what it has. They want the buildup and so forth that's there. Right? It'd be foolish for them
Okay.
to throw a nuke. But the Uyghurs, on the other hand, are just a sore spot that can be
Sweet one.
removed permanently.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But that opportunity passed. Okay, but at 9/11, I think we could have gotten away with it. We ready to do your story here? Let's get on this. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Wicked press tour. All right, looks like mental illness. I guess we should listen to this, should we? Doesn't this
Oh,
person have the
God.
same kind of
We have
look of
to
an old
accept
antiquarian?
Mm. Well, good luck.
I'm a person, and I feel, and I have feelings, and I can share them.
And if you need to cry right now, you cry.
Yeah. And
What the hell is this?
someone said to me that the green was the thing that I would love the most about Alphabet, that I would want to stay green. But actually,
Why would you want
being
to
green,
put
yes,
green
I love
on
playing
you?
this character. But every time I took the makeup off,
It's because she plays the character Isabel or something, who's a green witch.
Feeling really beautiful.
Basically, she is the Wicked Witch.
Fucking are.
She is the Wicked Witch of Oz.
Holy shit.
I mean, God.
It's just the way they
Yeah.
talk to
What
each
you've
other.
brought to this film and to
I
these
mean, look at them, they're
characters, you've not
holding
just taken
hands.
care
It's
of them,
like,
you've
I don't know, like she's
transformed
gone through a
them
really
for good.
traumatic experience, not
Thank you very
talking
much.
about what they
Thank
do for a
you.
living.
It's also my first time ever doing
That
that.
could,
You were
in all
the
fairness, I
light
do
of
want
the
to point
day.
out
You are
Truly,
such
that could be
You
classed
brought
as a
such
traumatic
light into the
experience
room.
having
Thank
to be
you
in that
very
film.
much.
We
for
appreciate
coming.
Well, having to work with them two would be traumatic, I would imagine.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're the ones causing the trauma, not the ones being traumatized.
Mm.
I mean,
So, Nomad, is your brain melted after hearing that?
I just. Okay, let me ask a question. How does this advance the film in any way?
It doesn't.
Okay,
Like I said,
it,
it's the leftists pretending to be dead fish, flopping around, giving one last attempt. That is what I say.
but isn't that the purpose? am, I, am I missing something? What's the purpose of doing an interview about a movie you did? It's the purpose is to basically bring marketing to the movie, right?
Correct.
Right.
From what I heard, the boys did better than the females, but to be fair, the bar was low. So,
Well, when it comes to the Wizard of Oz, the females are the dominant characters anyway. They're always the MCs for the most part.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I mean that's the way the story was written. Okay, I don't care. Okay, I mean I do remember the original. For those who don't know, the original came out when color movies was just becoming a thing, when they were
Yeah.
transitioning from black and white to color, and the director and the producers of the movie did that with the film.
Yeah.
Okay, and the first part of the film is black and white when she's in Kansas, and then she goes to Oz, and it's this bright colored place, right? And when she returns back to Kansas, they go back to black and white.
Hold it. I thought Kansas was black and white. Oh, I must have got it wrong. My bad. Sorry.
Okay. Just the it really worked well. Back in the day, you had talented people working in the working in the film industry, right? In many
Yeah.
different areas, right? And so the results were, phenomenal for that time frame. And
Yes.
even today, the movie stands on its own even today. Now, could they do a couple of the special effects a little bit better today? A little bit better today, yes. But like the flying monkeys could be done far more awesome now. Okay,
Yes.
but overall, it worked. Okay, and it was a staple every year for a long time in America. About Thanksgiving, this time frame, or it would come out
Mm-hmm.
on like ABC or CBS, one of the major news channels, or big three channels. When we only had three channels, three TV channels to look at.
Not like now. Was what 900 or some stupid high number like that?
Yeah, I mean it's just ridiculous. But okay, the thing is, there's this idea now that all the bad guys aren't bad.
Yeah.
There's no real bad guys anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
and this harkens back close to what you're talking about in the mid to late 70s. You had a similar thing happening, right? Where there were
Mm-hmm.
no real bad guys and there were no real good guys. It was all just
Yeah.
some shade of gray, right?
Yeah.
And that's where, quite frankly, Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
And the shock to the entire entertainment system of having good guys and bad guys,
Yeah.
okay, back to their original roles. But
Which
even
is what it
George
should
Lucas,
be.
but even George Lucas couldn't hold on to that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got. Oh, hey, Vash.
Hey, Bosch,
Hello.
we have a bit of feedback. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm doing push to talk.
Ah, good choice, sir. How you doing, mate?
Pretty good. I woke up, I turned, and I saw something trending on Twitter, and I about broke a rib laughing.
Oh God.
Who could have predicted this?
Are you talking about? Are you talking about this show, or is there
But-
something else that's trending that I missed?
If it's us, I'm impressed.
Oh yes, it's about Destiny.
Oh, what's that
Okay.
Muppet?
But I'm not gonna sidetrack this.
Okay.
We happen to have Twitter up right at the moment.
Well, he got caught being on his knees like Kamala. No wonder why he voted for her.
Oh.
Is it Destiny Meltdown?
Yeah. No. Like apparently something got exposed where he was doing some stuff.
Okay.
Just for clarification purposes, Destiny, that's the one whose wife has a separate boyfriend. Am I right? Or is this someone else?
Yeah, hey, it's the cuck, yes.
I thought it was I thought it was the leader of the Angel Flight in Captain Scarlet.
I've been trying to
you're going
search
back
it.
in changing history there, dude.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
I wouldn't search this directly.
Yeah.
You might come across something.
My God,
Yeah,
that's probably true. It is Twitter, but I'm not. I'm
and-
not. I'm not.
hey,
I mean, but just trust. I will DM an image to Quinn real quick.
Oh God. Oh God.
Why do you hate Jensen? Oh, wait,
Because he knows
that's a
I'm
stupid
twisted.
question.
By the way, we have
Meow.
B here, so you have to be on your best behavior there, Batman.
I have who here?
FB.
B.
B is here.
And I've got to be on my best behaviour.
Yeah,
With B around.
I know. But the dark and demonic one is here. Don't forget,
I
don't
know
look her in
you
the
are.
Hi,
eyes.
Batman.
Hello,
Don't
B.
forget, everyone, don't look her in the eyes. And if you do, play dead. She may not kill you.
Don't look her in the eyes.
He's a nice person.
She's just making a check.
How much?
Not to judge him anymore.
How much
But-
is she paying you, Batman?
She isn't. But
Ah,
I don't know if
disgusting.
it's me, but she sounds distorted when she talks.
Yeah,
Don't say anything,
Right?
Jason. Yeah.
slightly. Yes, it does. The modulation does appear to be off. Oh God.
Oh,
Ew.
fuck.
There,
Mhm.
there you
I
go.
understood that.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure that it was like, that
Crop.
you didn't see like, yeah.
You can see exactly just enough to know you don't want to see
What?
any more.
I'm becoming more and more convinced that the leaders of the world
Mm-hmm.
in really emboldened and italic brackets there
Yes.
are determined to cause World War III because they want to drastically lower the population of the world. It seems like the only answer
Mhm.
to me, the way they're going on.
I don't disagree with you. It actually sounds disturbingly reasonable.
Are we ready to move on to the next thing?
Go for it.
Yes, Mum.
Zelensky, I'll give up Ukrainian territory to Russia to achieve peace. The president, for the first time, that his country says for the first time that his country could cede territory or land temporarily in exchange for protection of a NATO umbrella. Volodymyr Zelensky said on Friday that he was willing to cede territory to Russia to end the war for the first time. Right.
I'm sorry for laughing, but I just had this image of him saying that and Trump getting him an umbrella with NATO written on it. Because let's face it, that's the kind of guy Trump is. He would do that.
He does have a sense of humour.
Yep.
He said
And Slanksy is a comedian, so
This is true.
he said the Ukrainian president could give up land temporarily in exchange for a NATO umbrella over the territory of Ukraine that still holds. He added that after the ceasefire was agreed, Kiev could diplomatically negotiate the return of the territory in the east that is currently under Russian control. Okay, let's be perfectly frank here. You're never
You're
getting
not
that
getting
area
it back.
back.
No.
Not unless they can take it and hold it.
Well, it's not just that. The whole point of this whole thing is because Russia wants the connection between Russia and
That's part of it, yeah.
Sevastopol?
Yes,
Yeah.
Sevastopol, the Crimea.
But let's face it, more than half of the Ukraine is culturally, ethnically, and linguistically Russian.
Well, yeah, because Kiev was originally its capital, so yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the Ukrainians, as they now are on Russia's side.
Well,
Don't know. Can't say on that one.
it does create this. The desertion threatens to starve Ukraine forces at a crucial time in its war with Russia.
And how many of those Ukrainian forces are conscripts? And why does that look like a zombie?
All of them now. I mean, let's be honest. Desertion is starving the Ukrainian army of desperately needed manpower, crippling its battle plans at a crucial time in its war with Russia, which could put Kiev at a clear disadvantage in future ceasefire talks. No kidding. Facing the every imaginable shortage, tens of thousands of Ukrainian troops, tired and befrit, have walked away from combat in frontline positions to slide into anonymity, according to soldiers, lawyers, and Ukrainian officials. Entire units have abandoned their posts. Entire units? You have a huge problem. If entire units are walking off, you have a massive problem. Okay.
You have a war that you've just lost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which let's hope that's the case, because that means this shite will be over soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
No,
are they
they're
going
just
to
going to
embezzle
ask
money
America
then?
for help.
What was that, B?
I said, how are they going to embezzle their money if the war in Ukraine stops?
That,
Not another war somewhere else, B.
that's
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And
yeah.
and whoever that was, the last the America for help. Yeah, and President Trump will turn on and say no.
Yeah, that would be fun though.
You got to remember,
Oh,
Trump's only going to be president for 4 years, folks. If
yeah,
that.
Mm.
4 years is a hell of a long time
I'm
in
going to be real
politics.
blunt. I honestly think that there's going to be a massive assassination attempt on Trump before he is
Again.
reinaugurated.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean massive. I think what they'll try to do is an entire swatting type of thing or bombing. It won't be
Oh
a single
God, he's
sniper.
going to be taken. You're saying he's going to be taken up by a 14-year-old kid playing Fortnite who sends a SWAT team around to Donald Trump's house.
I don't think that's
That's what you said. You said swatting.
He did.
I
And
mean,
that's
I would
precisely what I mean.
just say it's probably going to be a drone.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
thinking.
they're sending Biden after him.
No, drones are intelligent. Biden isn't.
No, drones aren't intelligent. They're remote
Well,
controlled.
I mean, they're only intelligent for the business they work for, but anything else they're not good at because that's the only thing that they do.
A drone is a remote controlled machine.
Just like Biden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why, apart from a drone's made of mechanical parts and powered by science, Biden is made from biological parts and powered by voodoo.
This is fair. And people try to tell me necromancy doesn't exist. My point, Exhibit A, Biden.
Shut up, Jensen.
I'm just wondering where the fuck his phylactery is.
He doesn't have one. He's a zombie.
Yeah, he ain't no lich.
Yeah,
It's
Nancy Pelosi that's got the phylactery.
Well, how the hell does he take away the blackness of black people?
Special magic. Good point.
Bleach. It's real
that's
easy.
That's because Nancy Pelosi is channeling her lich powers through him.
And
He's
by the way,
old,
you pronounce
they'll poison him. I don't think that. Okay, Green Badger's comment. He's old. They'll poison him and blame it on his age.
Yeah.
If they had the opportunity, I think that they would. I do think that that's a possibility. All right. However, he has at this point surrounded himself with a tight knit group to prevent anything like that. That's why I think there's going to be something more massive.
Let's face it. There are fucking poisons out there which perfectly mimic the effects of terminal diseases in all people, like heart attacks.
Yeah.
Well, they could.
And the thing is, they're untraceable once they've done the job, and you go. I mean, the Bulgarians fucking poisoned some guy on the fucking street in London, and nobody realised they'd done it until the autopsy.
Yeah.
The umbrella.
Yeah, no. But here's the point with this one, okay? I don't think that they want to stay hidden. What I think they want to do is actually, when they poison him, have it look like it came from pick specific person they decided to cause the war on, which will cause the war that they're hoping for. Because like you were saying, Nomad, the Ukrainian war, i.e. the opportunity to embezzle as much money as they are, is going away. They're going to need a new target.
Well, I do agree. But Green Badger, you said that the CIA hasn't done it. It's not like the CIA hasn't done it before. The problem with that statement. The problem with that statement is, yeah, the CIA has attempted it before, but when it comes to poison, the CIA has a track record of missing time and time again.
I remember what Jensen said, and I think that if that's the case, the most likely scapegoat would be if Trump had to meet an Israeli dignitary.
Yes, and by the way, Nomad, it won't be the CIA. Everybody knows the CIA only do foreign stuff. They never work at home.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, missing Israeli rabbi found murdered in the UAE. Netanyahu vows revenge on the killers. An Israeli man who went missing in the United Arab Emirates was found murdered, Prime Minister Netanyahu's office said on Sunday, denouncing his death as a heinous anti Semitic terrorist act. Zeev
Yeah, you've seen the
Kogan,
video.
a rabbi who worked in the Gulf Arab country for an Orthodox Jewish group called Shabbat, all right,
Yeah.
vanished in Dubai on Thursday. The state of Israel will use all means at its disposal to bring the criminals responsible for his death to justice.
Did you notice the video that was playing?
I was enjoying the video as it's been playing for Trump for the whole time. To be honest,
you know what that was? You know what that
Go on.
was?
Go on.
That was in Saudi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of yeah, where this guy's gone Dubai, right? But that was a Dubai reporter, right? And the guy who waved at the camera and on was the Dubai fucking deaf interpreter.
Interesting version.
Now the UAE is kind of a, for lack of a better term, moderate Arab state.
Yeah.
They have huge sections that cater to foreigners, relative huge sections. The country is
Yeah,
like a
but
postage stamp.
they're,
All right, but
yeah, but they're like Saudi. There are tourist sections. Tourists and foreign visitors are not allowed out of those sections. But if you ever manage to get out those sections, you see what a shithole the country really is.
well, the Dubai is pretty much the entire country. Okay, and but I mean, it's just a small little state. All right, on the coast. All right, why is it a state and not part of like Iran or one of these other countries that surround it? Is mainly due to the
Or like
fact that
Iran.
they have a different, cultural sect there. Okay,
Okay.
they are like I said, they're when I say moderate, I'm trying to be, for them it's
Nice.
moderate. Okay, they're still a very conservative state. There are still issues that they have with various imams.
That's
All
still
right,
an Iron Age culture. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. They have not changed really enough to do this. There's a lot of people go there, a lot of celebrities, to be honest, go there, and they never get
Yep.
outside of the tourist section, and they think it's great. Now they had
Yeah,
an
'cause they're not allowed to.
American. They did have an American go over there. One of these bloggers, female bloggers, went over there, and she made an
Mm-hmm.
issue. And the first thing they
Okay.
did was snatch her passport, and they wouldn't let her leave. And she was like terrified of what they were going to do to her. It's like, yeah, you got
It's like,
uppity in the wrong freaking place, girl.
There's like Saudi where they yeah, even now where they're good to tourists, but they've got very strict laws. There's been many a time where British, American, or European workers have been sentenced to massive amounts of time in jail. We're talking decades here.
Yeah.
Because they've been caught in possession of alcohol
Yes.
or tobacco.
Almost like it's illegal over there. Weird, huh?
I mean, you can have alcohol in Dubai.
Mm.
You can't.
They don't arrest you for drinking in Dubai.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think like there's certain rules on sort of buying it and supplying it to the country, but you can actually have alcohol over there.
That's
It's a
different.
modern city.
That's different to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia is not the UAE.
This is
This
true.
is true.
Hence
But
my
Saudi
term.
Arabia is very different.
Hence my
Mhm.
term. The UAE is kind of moderate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, they even have like churches and temples for the Jewish communities. They sort of allow them to pray
Like
in there.
it just shows that not all Muslim countries are horrific places of misery and destruction.
Unlike London. Yeah.
I think though with Dubai, you still get the call to what do
Prayer.
they call it? The
Call to
call to
prayer.
prayer at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, the call to prayer is ubiquitous in the entire region.
Mhm.
I have no.
But our Dubai office, we have a lot of females working there, which I was quite surprised to find out.
Yeah.
Mm.
The only country where you've got females working.
That's what I was surprised at. No, I don't mean that in disrespect to them. I'm just they do
Yeah,
have a
you-
certain reputation after all.
Yeah. And thanks for pointing that out, B.
Hmm.
I still don't
See?
want to go there.
Don't blame them.
I don't blame you.
Well, if you went there, you wouldn't want. It's like North Korea. If you went to North Korea, you wouldn't want to come back.
No, you won't be able to
That's
come back.
brainwashing has that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they'll let you go back full of holes. Syrian insurgents are inside Aleppo in a major setback for Assad as government forces regroup. Thousands of Syrian insurgents fanned out inside of Aleppo in vehicles with improvised armor and pickups, deploying to landmarks such as the old citadel on Saturday, a day after they entered Syria's largest city, facing little resistance from government troops, according to residents and fighters. Witnesses said two airstrikes on the city's edge late Friday targeted insurgent reinforcements and hit nearby residential areas. A war monitor said 20 fighters were killed. Syria's armed forces said in a statement Saturday that to absorb the large attack on Aleppo and save lives, it has redeployed and is preparing for a counterattack. The statement acknowledged that the insurgents had entered large parts of the city, but they said they have not established bases or checkpoints. Insurgents were filmed outside police headquarters in the city center and outside the Aleppo citadel. They tore down posters of Syrian President Bashir Assad, stepping on some and burning others. Now, why am I doing this story? Because I'll be honest with you, I thought that most of that fighting had pretty much gone and was
Same.
done with.
It's
We
the
had,
Middle East. The fight never goes.
well, to this degree, though. I mean, this is a massive attack. Okay.
Is that
Well, if you got 20 dead, where one person says I saw 20 dead, that's more than just a handful of
To us,
individuals.
that's a massive attack. To them, it isn't.
Well, I mean, it's a massive
them-
attack
to
in
them,
the sense that it's a coordinated multi-unit type of deployment. All right, and if the rebels can put together some kind of multi-unit type of a deployment, they're a lot more of a threat than I thought that they were. I thought that they had pretty much been destroyed.
Yeah.
The ones you thought had been destroyed probably were, and these are a new bunch. That's
the problem.
That's another thing about the Middle Eastern countries. They're still operating on clans or tribes, and you get one tribe gets the power. They get the power in the government. At face value, through a democratic system, it isn't though, but that's how it seems. And their clans that are their enemies become the rebels, and there's usually more than one clan that is an enemy of the other clan.
Yeah.
So you get rid of one bunch of rebels, and another bunch pop up.
Well,
it's like playing whack-a-mole with a machine gun.
and I understand that, but and I really thought that Assad had pretty much pacified with Iran's support had pretty much pacified this entire region. Now, Bashar Assad and the Assads themselves are from a tribe called the Alawites. All right, they make up less than 10% of the population of Syria.
Yep.
All right, the Alawites are a sect of Shia. Right, they follow the Shia sect, which is the same sect that the Iranians follow. right? Which is
Yeah.
they're supporters of Hezbollah and everything else. But Hezbollah and Iran, let's
And
be
they're not
honest, have
opposed
been
to
taking
Sunni.
it in the last few months. Hezbollah and Iran have really gotten the crap kicked out of them. All right,
Yeah.
their forces. So I guess that's why now's the time to attack, because Assad is not in the same position that he was. So it kind of makes sense that they would increase the attacks at this point in time, because the government forces are losing support of their
Oh,
major
I've got
ally.
something to say, a bit of an aside, and this isn't a joke, by the way. But you can remember Sonny and Cher,
I've
the
heard
singing
of
group,
them.
right?
I've heard of them.
But when their heyday in the 60s and the early 70s, they, unlike many groups, never went to a place like Saudi or any of the other tourist destinations in the Middle East. And there's a
Okay.
reason for that. It's because the Muslims thought that they had deliberately picked the name of their duo as an insult to Islam. Seriously,
Wow.
where do you think I got the joke from?
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense, I suppose. Damn. Yes, I bet those B-52s, Nomad. Anytime, man. Seriously, anytime.
Want to buy a nuke?
The Love Shack is a little old place where we can. Oh, sorry, wrong B-52s.
Yes.
They can be in the Houthis when I let go. But anyway, Milei supporters launch armed wing to protect the president. Group started by pro-Milei influencer to act as Praetorian Guard for the Argentine president. Supporters of Javier Milei have launched what they are calling an armed group to defend the Argentinian's outspoken president and his ultra-libertarian agenda. Daniel Parsini, all right, a prominent pro-Milei influencer, said the group, called Forces of Heaven, all right, will act as a Praetorian Guard for Milei while he's also competing in internal elections of his party, the Freedom Advances.
Thing is, me, Jensen, and B are English. This is
Yeah.
about Argentina. What we hope happens to Argentina is it descends into social and political chaos.
I'm okay with this.
Mr. Paracini, also known as Fat Dan, right, launched the group over the weekend at a raucous event in Buenos Aires hall, draped in medieval-style banners bearing the crest with a cross and the words "Poverty, Liberty, God, Family, and Homeland." This sounds like Deus Vult to me. Am I missing something?
It does sound very crusadery, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Make trebuchets great again.
Make the Spanish Inquisition great again.
It was never great.
What do you mean, again?
Yep.
Speakers included
trebuchets.
Why is it that I could just picture Vash going, "Pull"?
I can imagine how different crucifixions it would have been if the Romans had discovered superglue.
Oh, jeez.
OMC. You think I would only be operating one of them?
I didn't say that. I just have this picture of you with the lanyard.
Actually, as we're discussing some of the more ancient technology here, I would just like to make a little point I found out today. And I know B knows the answer, so she gets to assist out on this one. But who do you think invented the guillotine?
It was. I used to know this.
You know what? You can actually just go for which country.
I don't think it was France. But I do know that I do know that the guy who invented it was the first one to have it used on him.
Nope.
Pretty sure he was.
Would you like to know who it was?
Go on.
It was English back in 1246.
Oh Christ! Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
By the way,
so-
Nomad, is it true that the B1 has a bigger payload than B-52?
A B1? No,
The B1, does that have a bigger payload? Because I
no,
didn't
it
think
does
it
not.
did.
No,
I
the
didn't
B
think so.
the
Oh,
B1 does not. B2 might.
Badger
Okay.
thinks it does.
Okay.
But the B1, no. The B1's payload is actually fairly small in comparison.
That's what I
But-
thought.
But
Yeah.
none of them combined have the same payload as Nomad.
No weapons were on display, and it's unclear if Mr. Parisini and his followers generally intend to use violence or the threat of it to confront Mr. Malay's political adversaries. Look, this to me sounds like a bunch of frat boys getting together and saying, we're going to protect him, and if they ever get in anything serious, they're just going to get smacked around like
They
a
look
bunch
like
of...
a bunch of frat boys.
They
Yeah.
do. They do. All right. Now, we'll
Hold on. It looks like Rodney and his chums from Only Fools and Horses, actually.
His name resembles a dish of parmesan and zucchini.
Why do you sound like you're both bored in pain and tired at the same time?
Well, I mean, I did just wake up.
No, that's fair enough.
Good answer.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah, he's bored because his dreams were more interesting. He's in pain because he now has to face with reality, and he's tired because he just woke up. Got you.
All of
Perfect.
these things seem reasonable.
Perfect answer.
The group Forces of Heaven that is being founded here today is an armed wing of Freedom Advances. We are his most loyal soldiers, the ones who were here from the start and who will be here until the end. Look, I don't think that this guy Malay is really under that much of a threat per se. I do know that
No.
some of his reforms, right, are
Oh my god! That looks like somebody's gone. What would Yoda look like if he was human?
we will get to that later, right? But he is embarking on us on some reforms that are going to have a direct effect on the Argentinian military. Right? I don't know I don't know just how serious a threat that can be, because obviously the military has had a habit in Argentina of saying, we've had enough of you, we are now in charge. Okay, so
Yeah.
not,
Jawohl.
basically yes. All right. They
Yeah.
are they were a haven, right, for former fascists who fled the country, their countries during World War II.
Yeah,
There is
but now
a
they're not.
massive German, but even more so, there's a even larger contingent of Italian fascists that settled there.
They weren't former fascists. They were still practicing fascists, but they're no longer a haven for them because they all died of old age.
This is
Allegedly.
Their
Yeah.
families have carried on the traditions. Trust me.
We know this.
I thought you were going to
that
continue.
literally was it. No.
Let's face it. It wouldn't surprise anybody here if that film, The Boys from Brazil, was actually a documentary, though, would it?
This is fair. Even I've seen that.
There's points to it.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, it doesn't have to be a genetic clone of Hitler. You just have to get a kid who's got the right psychology as Hitler and force his life down a similar path to get the desired result.
Okay, but
I'm looking at you, Keir Starmer.
The problem. Okay, what people don't understand about fascism is that fascism is populist communism.
Yes.
Okay, that's how
So
the
is Nazi-
leaders rise, is because of
So
a
is Nazi-
populist communist movement, and the leader then takes over. You do not have communism. All right. Normally, when communism is moved into an area, if if you've ever looked at and really studied how communism has taken over different countries and so forth, it has always been
A
all right
revolution.
from but it's a revolution run and controlled completely by the elite.
Yeah.
It's never by the low end people who came from nothing. Fascism is the
Apart,
opposite of that.
yeah, apart from fascism and national socialism, the
Well,
difference between the two is, I believe, National Socialism incorporates nationalism, obviously, and tightly controlled capitalism.
well, fascism does too. I mean, the difference and the difference between National Socialism and the rest of the fascist aspect, right, was the persecution. Let's be honest, the absolute persecution and demonization of the Jews. All right, it was
But
a
not only
highly segmented
in
area. That's really the only difference that you have between Mussolini and Hitler, right?
Mussolini persecuted and demonized North Africans and also Jews, and
Not
I
the
believe,
not to, not okay, not it's not the same. It's not to say that people weren't abused and minority groups weren't segregated in to an extent annihilated. The difference
yeah,
was
you
the difference
had the
was
exact same in the Soviet Union.
well, but what you do the difference is that you had with the Nazis an actual campaign of we're going to go out and exterminate them as the highest priority of the nation state. They were in the middle of World War II and they were sacrificing moving ammunition and arms, all right, to the Eastern
Yep,
Front, all right, with the Russians that they were desperately in need of, and they were busy sitting there going, nope, nope, the trains have to continue to for the extermination camps had a higher
yep,
priority.
yeah. This
You
is
have
why
to
Hitler's
understand
generals were
that.
always. This is why Hitler's generals were always trying to kill him. And we're moving off topic here.
We
We are.
to an extent, but the thing is with Millet, all right, his reforms are finally having an effect. They did. It took a while, all right. It took several years before the inflation that the serious amount of inflation that was going on in Argentina has now stabilized. And I hate to say this, but their inflation now is around 10%, and that's manageable compared to what it was, where it was 3,000 and 4,000%. All right, when he came in. So
Ah,
he's made some progress, right? But it's still pretty severe there.
Hmm. Yeah, and all that's inherited off the likes of General Galtieri, who was an evil fairy.
All right, let's get on to the next story, shall we? From the person
go
that
on.
that Jensen thought was immortal, Kissinger's
I believe it.
Kissinger's
Mm.
final warning: prepare for superhuman people to control the earth.
Superhuman people
Spoken
control the earth. They will.
spoken like a true German.
Hmm.
All right,
He's not
humanity
in one of his tweets.
Übermensch, ja.
humanity
Which,
must
yeah.
humanity must begin preparations to no longer be in charge of the earth because of artificial intelligence, according to a new book from the late statesman Henry Kissinger.
Yeah, I think the lizard people will have something to say about that.
And a pair of the country's leading technologists. The rise of AI creating superhuman people is a major topic of concern in Genesis, published Tuesday by Little Brown and Company. Right? It is the last book from Kissinger, according to the publisher's parent company, Hachette. All right. Kissinger was a longtime U.S. diplomat and strategist who died last year at the age of 100. Henry Kissinger was the most well-known, most well-read, and one of the worst, the probably the absolute worst. All right,
And apparently he was
Secretary
one
of
of the biggest.
States that the United States has ever had.
Apparently he was one of the biggest sleepers around in Washington as well. Hey,
Okay,
power is an aphrodisiac, and he knew how to use it.
it's DC, all right. I hate to say
Yeah,
this, but it's DC. If you want to get, if you want to be a degenerate, DC is the place to go. Okay, you can sleep around with anything and everything.
yeah, but he didn't just do it in DC. He did it around the fucking world.
Well, if idiots want to throw themselves at him, what is he supposed to do?
Like I said, it's power. Yeah, he caught them.
Okay, back to his prediction. It does sound like he's been reading Dune, because didn't the Benny Gesserit do that
Yes.
He probably watched
with
Gossip
the
too
AI
many times as
machine?
well.
Spice, the spice must
Hey,
flow.
this this is an old prediction. I mean, Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. Yeah, all of these utopia fucking fictions that we've read, where you've got like a physically perfect, genetically modified elite who enjoyed the utopia, but to the rest of us, it's a dystopia because we're the grunts slaving and toiling away to keep it running. This is nothing new.
Yeah, altering the genetic code of some humans to become superhuman carries with it other moral and evolutionary risks. If the AI is responsible for the augmentation of human mental capacity, it could create a humanity with a simultaneously biological and psychological reliance on foreign intelligence.
Oh, not more Middle Easterns.
uh,
Oh, yes, intelligence. Right.
Look, okay, a Brave New World and all those things that people are talking about. We can see it on the horizon. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
as far as what the technical capabilities are, we are not as close as as these a lot of these scary things talk about. Okay, we're not as close to. We could clone a human being. I'll give you. There's no doubt in my mind we could clone a human being. However,
There's
there are
one problem with cloning.
problems. All right, and
Yeah.
what's more is while we can clone a human being into a human baby, that's the extent of it. As far as control and markers and things like that, we are way too far into the
There's another
infancy
problem.
to understand how any of that is going to work.
There's another problem, Nomad. If you remember Dolly the sheep, the cloned sheep.
Yes.
Yeah. Not long after that clone was born, it aged rapidly until it was the same physiological age as the donor sheep. Because as you age, your genetics change because of your age. So you clone somebody at 30. From what we understand at the moment, that clone will rapidly age. Not long after it's born, maybe it's a few months, maybe it's even up to a year. It
You
will
want
age.
to get your sample from when they were a baby?
Yeah.
You can't do that with anybody alive at the moment, though, can you?
What, get samples of their DNA of children?
Apart from babies.
If I may,
Yeah, the NHS keeps stocks of babies' DNA.
Yeah, but that's only relatively recent, isn't it?
No,
Batman,
over 20 years now.
Batman,
Like I said, relatively recent.
correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, they make the clone of the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Literally 30 seconds after they decant the little bugger, they take a sample, and then from there on, they've literally got the DNA of the baby. Because at that point, no. Go on.
Because the baby is, say, you take a sample from, say, me, 60, right?
Yes.
And clone me. That baby's going to have my DNA, right, as I am now.
Okay.
It's not going to have a baby, the DNA I had as a baby. So, taking a sample from that, you're going to get the same results. Only there's going to be the same problem you have when you copy a copy.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're going. I'm just wondering how accurate that statement is. That's all I was really going.
That's what we got from Dolly the sheep. So
Yeah.
Well, that's
Okay.
one of the things we
That's
got from
not
Dolly. That was one of the things that we got from Dolly the sheep. The Dolly,
the thing is, do you know what I think cloning should be used for?
food.
No, well,
Oh,
that's a good one, yes.
yeah.
But
No, I meant it as well. Mhm.
what about spare part surgery? If you
okay.
can put, if I
Yeah.
could take a genetic sample from Jensen, right? And yeah, he start yeah, because of age and diet and stuff, he develops heart disease. No problem. We've got genetic samples of him when he was in his 30s or 40s. We'll clone him a new heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No rejection
cloning
problems.
cloning organs is something that is a holy grail. Okay, and while we can clone skin for like skin
On
grafts and
paper,
things, that
it's
takes
yeah.
time.
On
It
on
works, but the reality is cloning an organ is not an easy thing. That are they
on
trying to
paper,
do
it's
it?
actually
Yes. Can we clone tissue? Like, can I clone kidney tissue? Yes. But what I can't do is clone a kidney yet. And we're a long ways away from that. They are trying to come up with
there's
ways to do it, but we're a long
there's
ways away
actually an
from
easy
it.
way to do it.
Huh?
Yeah,
Hmm.
you clone Jensen, right? Yeah, from a sample he's had when he's 30, right? And yeah, you make sure that the clone is brain dead, kept alive until it's
He's already brain dead.
appropriate age.
Ba-
Okay, so the clone and Jensen are identical.
Why are we cloning Jensen? Can't we clone someone better?
Okay, we'll clone B.
Okay,
No,
that's better.
you do not want a second one of her. Get real.
Yeah, but we can add more owl DNA to it. That'll
the,
make her happier.
well,
Mm.
once again, cloning people and then becomes okay. Is that a human being or not? When does human life exist? You're gonna have to
The
answer
thing
those
is,
questions
uh,
before you get too far down that road.
here's another one for you. If you kill your clone, is that murder or suicide?
Okay, I've got a real disturbing one for you. Okay. If they clone you and you perform some sort of, shall we call
It's
it sexual
masturbation.
activity, is it masturbation? That's the question.
If it's if the clone is the same sex as you, it's also yeah, buggery.
Mhm. Just
Enough of the clones. Let's move on to the next story.
I knew that'd work.
Denver
Send
mayor
in the
walks back
clone.
comments about deploying local police to block federal deportation forces. Mike Johnson has drawn parallels to Tiananmen Square in an interview with the Denverite. Denver Mayor Mike Johnson walked back comments about deploying the city's police forces at a county line to keep federal forces out of President elect Donald Trump's plans to deport thousands of immigrants unlawfully staying in the city. I would have taken it back if I could. Would I take it back if I could? Yes. I probably wouldn't have used that image. All right. The reason he said that is because the guy he put in that President Trump has said he wants in charge of this said, "Oh, me and the mayor of Denver have two things in common. He he wants to go to jail, and I'm willing to put him there." Okay, all right, and and at that point, people realized, okay, Trump's group here is serious about going there and grabbing these migrants and these illegal aliens wherever they are. And if the mayor of Denver and a lot of these other people who, and I'm going to be real blunt, all right, are being elected on the backs of these guys, because I guarantee you there's a lot of these guys that are voting in these elections, all right, because of how they have prevented any kind of checks in their voting schemes. If he gets rid of them when they start running away, they won't be voting for this guy anymore, and he won't be in charge of Denver very long. There are people who are now finally getting to the point of saying, "Wait a minute, we've got to actually do something about this kind of stuff." And he's not the only one who's going to end up going to jail. The mayor of Oakland is going to jail, right? Even though she's been recalled and is getting kicked out, believe me, she could end up going to jail for some of the things that she's done because she's actually broken the law several times. All right, to quote unquote protect the migrants. And this is going to become a head because overall the country has no problems with this. The press does. The press is like, oh, we can't do this. Oh, the authoritarianism. Most of the
There's
country
a
is saying
greater
round them up and
and
get rid of them.
greater There is a greater and greater disconnect in the Western world between the politicians and populace.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that, which is one of the reasons why I made the comment about fascists and
Yeah.
populism, all right,
And
versus
if
communism.
you want to read the chat, you're ignoring the chat.
Pretty sure we already fought a war over state versus federal. Yeah.
He deliberately ignored the one before that, didn't he? Yeah. See.
What in Denver, right? Colorado man's only weakness.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Batman was trying for funny. He
Boo.
missed.
Boo.
I was trying for a bad joke to get that reaction.
Oh, 100% success. I'm just saying you missed on going for a good joke there.
Yeah. Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau flies to Florida to meet with Trump after a terrorist threat. Right. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau flew to Florida on Friday to have dinner with President-elect Donald Trump at his Mar-a-Lago club after Trump threatened to impose sweeping tariffs on Canadian products. Trump threatened to impose tariffs on products from Canada and Mexico if they don't stop what he called the flow of drugs and migrants across the border. He said that he would impose a 25% tax on all products entering the United States from Canada and Mexico as one of his first executive orders. A person familiar with the details called it a positive, wide-ranging dinner that lasted 3 hours. Okay. Trudeau has made has had no problem trashing Trump for ever since he left office. He has had nothing but disdain for Trump and the commentary. Trudeau is now terrified because the threat of what they're doing with these goods is not an exaggeration. It is real. And the reason he ran down here, all right, isn't because he's trying to protect Canadians.
No.
No, he is trying to protect the Chinese minders who told him, well, wait a minute, because their plan, China's big plan, when Trump said, I'm going to tariff everything, was to say, okay, I will put it to Canada, and then Canada will be able to sell it down and use Canada as a middleman to avoid the tariffs. And when he said, no, we're putting the tariffs on the Canadians started freaking out because they realized, first of all, Trump is serious about this. Okay. The United States is the biggest market in the world. Period.
Yeah, it's also got the most pickpockets when you're wondering about the stalls.
Well, that's a separate issue. Okay. Is Canada going to cut and maintain fire breaks in those massive forests so half their country doesn't burn again?
It can't burn because it's always wet.
No, there's huge sections of Canada that have burned several times. All right,
Yeah.
the east, especially
toward
the eastern part of it.
That's not natural brush fires. That's eco-terrorists trying to convince people that the world is getting too hot.
I'm not saying that it isn't, but the thing is that the wildfires got so bad, and Canada intentionally let it burn for a while before they realized this is completely out of control. But they let it burn so bad that it actually blanketed the entire state of New York in soot.
Yeah, hold up before you go any further.
Nobody would notice.
Hold it. Wait a sec.
Improvement, right?
Be very careful what you say. You know that YouTube's already keeping an eye on you, mate.
Who?
Me.
No, Matt. Yeah, just say, watch what you say. You know that they're only looking for one more bloody excuse for you.
And
that's what I'm here to do.
And B's game has gone hyperbass again, or hyper bass.
Sorry?
Your audio seems hyper bass to me.
Not to me. It's actually fairly normal. I'm thinking it might be you, mate.
I'm thinking it might be, but I'm having no problems with anybody else.
Weirdness.
I'm pretty sure it's already been happening in Mexico. In Mexico, believe it or not, the issue in Mexico is the new quote-unquote Mexican president. She's basically going in there and rewriting their constitution. I think she's going to be El Presidente for life soon.
No, she's going to be the queen.
Well, no, that's the point. El Presidente for life. It doesn't mean that life's going to be a long time, though. That's the problem.
No, because the cartels are actually running everything down there, and that's something else Trump
Yeah.
has threatened, and they're really upset about because he said we're going to start using the U.S. military to intervene with these cartels in Mexico. Now, when that was reported,
I mean,
it was kept really quiet because the press, once again, the press doesn't want to put that out there because they understand. Do you want a war with Mexico? Most Americans would go, bring it on. It's about damn time. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. Most Americans at this point are not. It's not that they have anything against the Mexican people, right, or anything like that, but they are sick and tired of being used as patsies by these people. All right, and if you can't fix your drug problem, we will.
Yeah, and plus, most Americans realize that they can cut their own damn lawns.
the immigrant labor issue is way overstated by the press.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not saying that's not saying that we don't have a migrant labor force in areas like the Imperial Valley. Okay, because we do. But I can tell you right now, these people who think that okay, well, the price is just going to go up because who's going to pick your lettuce and who's going to pick your tomatoes. Trust me, that will not last very long. Okay, it won't.
Yeah, I know. We have the reverse over here in places like Lincolnshire, where you have families who've depended for centuries on those seasonal agricultural jobs, and they're losing them because you're getting people from originally it was from Eastern Europe turning up and harshly undercutting them. So they weren't getting the jobs anymore. It was these really illegal migrants, and now you're getting the same with the ones from the Middle East. Well, not a lot of them, but it's adding to the problem. Lincolnshire hates immigrants.
Lincolnshire hates everyone.
Actually, I've been down there. Even strangers have been quite nice to me.
My friend said that the only thing that you can do in Lincolnshire is tie a mattress to your back because there's nothing to do.
Oh my god!
Well, that might be saying a lot more about your friend than it is Lincolnshire.
Maybe. We're not friends anymore.
Ouch.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Jeremy Clark. I think we should have a political and regal coup, and Jeremy Clarkson should become prime minister and king.
No, he shouldn't. No, he
Okay,
really shouldn't.
okay. Jeremy Clarkson clashes with the BBC's Victoria Derbyshire at farm protests. Jeremy Clarkson clashed with the TV presenter Victoria Derbyshire over the BBC's coverage of the government's inheritance tax raid on farms.
Yeah, this is new for us.
So we know that there's been a tax that they've been proposed. Why don't you explain this to us Yanks? Because we're like, okay, it's a tax. It should be protested.
Go ahead, Jensen. You pretend to be intelligent.
First of all, I've never claimed to be intelligent, but this whole crap show was because Labour decided to lie intensely about who they were and who they weren't going to tax, and suddenly, out of the blue, come up with we're going to screw over the old people, the people that usually vote Conservative, and the farmers, which apparently also usually vote Conservative. It's almost like, I don't know, the Labour Party are trying to punish the Conservatives. So they're going to basically be causing issues for the farmers, the people that provide us food and keep us going and little things like that.
It's corporate, it's corporations.
Yeah.
Because, like Clarkson says, there are people watching this who want this to happen because huge swathes of British countryside will be up for grabs. and there are
Yes.
corporations out there, not British corporations, who will move in, buy these farms, and run them as corporate farms, which will be bad for the country. It will be bad for the countryside, and it will be bad for the environment.
You do know that Keir Starmer was talking to Bill Gates about doing exactly that. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, somebody.
It's obviously the police about to arrest you.
Yeah.
They have found me. They have found me. I must run.
I would pay to see that in the cinema, Nomad. You running.
That should scare the
Dude, hard.
that should scare the hell out of you. Can you imagine the wave headed your way?
I'm just imagining the size of the wheelbarrow you'd have to put your belly in.
Okay.
Mhm.
The the uh, the the United States farmers are being squeezed out as well. All right, but it's not
Yeah.
happening. It's not happening due to taxes for the most part. Okay, although we also
Mhm.
have an inheritance tax. The problem
I
with the problem is in order to efficiently farm, you need a significant amount of land. And
Yes.
when I say farm, I'm not talking about farming for yourself. I'm talking
yeah
about
No.
over there when you
farming to produce food that you're going to sell to people. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah from what I've heard, I don't know how right this is, and it might be different from state to state, but yeah, over here, if you inherit your dad's farm, right?
Hmm.
It's been in the family for like hundreds of years. You've got that farm, no matter what. You don't pay anything, right? You own that land, right?
Mhm.
But apparently over there, even after you inherit the farm, you've still got to be paying the bank for it because land taxes or something. I don't know. But apparently, that's another way that American farmers are being squeezed out because
Oh,
those
okay.
taxes, whatever they've got to
Well,
pay, is being
not the tax.
stepped up.
It's not. The taxes have increased some taxes. Okay. But for example, on anything over anything under $5 million of land is if from an inheritance perspective, it's only taxed at 1%. Okay. Now that
Tell you,
sounds
James.
okay. 1%, $5 million at 1%. That's $50,000.
James has just helped me out there. Property taxes.
Yes, you still do
Yeah.
have to pay property taxes. All right, that's a
I
separate
don't
issue.
believe we have that over here.
All right, but
Once you paid in full for the land.
right, but property taxes are not federal taxes. Property taxes are state taxes. Okay,
Yeah.
the vast majority of the farming communities where like Nebraska, Kansas, and so forth, property taxes on farmland is very low. All right, cities are a different matter. Okay, the property taxes within cities are a different matter, but they do separate those in for that group. However, in some of these blue areas like California, for example, Illinois, all right, which has also had a lot of room for freaking farmers and everything because Illinois is a big state. They absolutely slammed with the property taxes the farmers. The real problem though comes about with $50,000. All right, in a inheritance tax doesn't sound like much, or except when you talk about $5 million of land. However, that $5 million of land may only be producing 40 or $50,000 worth of crops every year.
Back in a sec, guys.
Yeah,
Very
no
back.
problem. So you end up Illinois has a Chicago problem. That's very true.
You're pronouncing it wrong again, Nomad. Keep telling you, it's pronounced Illinois.
Illinois.
No,
Okay.
Illinois.
Illinois. Yeah, Illinois. Anyway, the
Can't do it, can
so
he?
what you have is a situation where when I said $50,000 worth of crops, I'm for of profit for crops is what I should have said. Been more specific. It's and that depends on a variety of things. In the United States, if you were going to actually run a farm, you cannot run a farm and survive. without diversifying. What do I mean by diversifying? You've got to have multiple crops, and you have to have feeder animals, right? Not just cattle, all right? But you have to have feeder animals. You got to have pigs. You got to have a few cows, all right, and so on, all right, so that you can, as the different commodities fluctuate, you don't get destroyed. Also, there's also the problem of weather, whether people like it or not. When a storm hits, a storm can be, it doesn't even have to bring up like a tornado or anything. It could just be a hailstorm. If you have a hailstorm at the wrong time when you're trying to grow corn, your entire corn crop could be absolutely wiped out.
Yeah, I mean, unseasonable frost.
Generally that's recoverable because you can plant again. It does increase the cost though. There's no doubt about that. Okay. If you have an early frost, um, what I mean by early frost is a frost that happens in like after you've planted. Okay, you will have to replant, and it will affect your overall harvest. The amount of the harvest. Okay, would be affected greatly. A late frost or an early frost, like let's say they hit a frost in October or even in September. All right, if a frost hits in September, it doesn't have the same effect. Okay, it's not that bad. Now, if you have some weird weather event like you were just saying, all right, FB, where all of a sudden you get a frost in June, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
You're screwed.
And that is really, I mean, I don't know about the States, but in the UK, yeah, frosty weather in June is not unheard of at all, is it?
No, that's the problem.
A frost in June is really, we haven't seen anything like that in a long time. All right.
We have.
Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, okay, because back in the 60s, they had snow in July one year.
Yep.
Okay. Now, a frost is not
Hear that?
as
They had snow in July as if he wasn't alive then.
all right. Now, I'm talking about crops in what I consider the corn belt, what we call the corn belt. Other areas that produce food, for example, in Florida, when they're producing oranges and stuff, their frost at the wrong time in those areas absolutely devastate the crops.
Yeah.
The crop yield just drops dramatically, and you will see the price of orange juice spike 300 to 400% when that happens.
Yeah.
How
I
often?
also heard farmers in Florida can get severely damaged if you get a tornado comes in off the sea, carries a load of salt water and dumps it on over farmland.
Most of the time that
I've
gets
heard of
washed
that
away
happen.
because of the rain. It can happen, all right, but that's
Yeah,
really a rare event.
it'll kill off the crops for 3 or 4 months. So
It'll damage them. Yes, it'll delay that for sure. All right, and of course, if those two things happen in conjunction with one another, you're done. All right, if you're just trying to, you know,
and
make
the
make make your
Amish,
one crop was the only thing that you had to rely upon for,
the
for
Amish
stability.
communities from the Amish communities from what I've heard seem to suffer the least from these kinds of effects.
I don't know
Not
where
a
you
clue.
I don't know where you got
Farms.
that from. Okay,
It's just
because
something I've heard.
the
I think it's because they chase any witches that they find out of their communities.
I don't think it's because they chase witches out of their communities.
Well, that's what they think.
Winter is God's way of saying burn more witches.
Witches. Okay, let's talk about witches. Dems fear Harris' continued fundraising events erodes trust. Okay.
Actually, they just have to get rid of the bit before and under, before and after. Yeah, so that they just Dems Harris get rid of the bit about fundraising and leave the erodes trust bit, and they'll be right.
The 2024 election is over, but Kamala Harris fundraising emails keep coming and sound as urgent as ever. Even a quick donation of $50 is enough to help us in this fight, said one email sent 2 weeks after the election. And with only a few hours left to hit our goal, today, now is the best time to rush your support. Another
Is
message.
her head getting bigger?
Is her head getting bigger? No.
Yeah, I think it is actually.
Right. Another recent message carried the subject line, please do not click away. Fundraising appeals may be necessary, and Harris's operation ended with around $20 million in debt, according to two people familiar with her campaign finances and granted anonymity to speak freely. All right. And there are limited ways campaigns can pay down that under the federal law. The emails themselves don't mention debt, instead, citing the organization's support for recount efforts in close races and legal challenges. And the Harris campaign denies that the campaign or affiliated joint fundraising committees had an outstanding debts on election day and says that they won't report debts owed in the future to the FCC, the FEC reports due in December. All right. Because they're of how the laws are written. The fact is Kamala Harris his campaign started in July, or yeah, about July, okay, and went from July to November. And in that time, she raised over $1 billion. Over $1 billion. And she is 20 million in debt after blowing that $1 billion. Trump's campaign began in basically in April, right, or a little bit earlier in March, right, so that he went through in a full campaign season. He only spent $340 million or $50 million for his entire campaign. So people are naturally upset about, okay, where did all this money go that we poured into you to stop the orange Cheeto Fuhrer, okay, and failed at that. And so they're looking at this, and they started looking at what her campaign was doing and where all this money started going. And there's been some nasty reports that have come out, not the least of which is she paid Oprah $2.5 million for her interview. She paid Al Sharpton for an MSNBC interview of at least $500,000. So
she paid Don lemon lollipops and condoms.
How much did her abortion truck cost?
Good point. That's a good question too. All right, where she was running around with that. So the campaign was obviously people started looking at the campaign. The campaign was being run as if she was a celebrity diva with diva type of things that were on the account. Okay, and it obviously America, in my opinion, dodged a bullet when she didn't get reelected. All right, or elected.
No, America, in my opinion, America didn't dodge a bullet. You dodged a fucking surface-to-air missile, surface missile.
All right. I mean, it was. This woman is utterly incompetent. She's clever, but she's utterly incompetent. She's not natively intelligent, in my opinion. Okay, she is a clever. She's clever and she's ambitious as hell, and that's the worst kind of person that you want when she has no morals.
I think she's ambitious as hell, and she can obviously turn on the charisma. I don't think she's actually that clever.
Charisma?
I'm sorry, I didn't see any charisma from her.
I'm going to get in trouble for this joke. Are you trying to tell me that you want a blow-by-blow account of her campaign?
No, but I want to hunt you down and beat you to death with your own legs.
That's only because I got there before you said that joke, and you know it.
Heels.
I would never subject anybody to her.
Heels is look. She's morally bankrupt, right? And like I said, when I say that she's clever, you can't dismiss the fact that she's a survivor from in a political regard. Right? She has wormed her way right? Through city politics, through state politics, all the way to being a heartbeat away from the presidency. That's the reality. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's be
And
honest
as
here.
far
She was
as
a heartbeat away.
charisma goes, there's charisma and then there's anti-charisma. All right, she's got anti-charisma. As soon as she starts to speak, people start leaning backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the nasal voice, I think, that does it for me.
And
Sounds like.
then sorry, B. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, she just sounds very judgmental when she speaks to people and looks down on them.
He
Yes.
speaks through her nose,
Yeah.
which unfortunately seems to be becoming more and more predominant with American speakers.
I'm doing my best not to say that's because her mouth is full. I really am trying not to say that.
Yes, we're all thinking it.
I know.
All right.
But
the fact
it's
that
when she smiles, it's that smile you see just before the predator rips your face out.
Yeah.
Sorry, before the alien rips your face out.
Yeah.
The that's, I mean, her own personality is, let's be honest, atrocious when it comes to things. She does not come across as a caring, nice individual.
Her personality is whatever it needs to be at the time.
I don't think that she pulls that off. She tries.
No, she doesn't, but she tries.
Okay, she will try to form her personality to whatever group that she goes, but she has no ability to do so. All right, and what's more is she looks, every time she does something like that, she looks faker and faker all the time. But I think B is correct. She sounds, when she comes across and she's speaking, it's like she's immediately beginning a lecture to you, and can't even. And the word salad she comes up with, you're just looking at her like, that's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard, and you said absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the same time, you can't deny the fact that she became the vice president. You have to realize that she was able to worm her way up to the highest parts of our government. That's why I said she's clever enough to do that. Now you can say she used her feminine wiles and to the best effect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was hit somebody with a knockout dart. Drag them into a bedroom and take photographs of her doing unspeakable acts upon them and then blackmailing them.
But it worked.
Saying nothing.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, if it was me and I was given a choice, I'd rather have Jensen sleep with Nancy Pelosi than me sleep with her.
Thanks. Great.
You're welcome.
What a threat. Off to the next story then.
Yeah.
Traumatized, a 6'2", 360-pound librarian sues for $4.6 million for being forced to work at a tiny desk.
Why have I got the picture of Mr. Incredible sitting at that desk in the in the insurance firm?
An employee with the New York Public Library is demanding $4.6 million in damages for allegedly being forced to work at a desk that's too small for his 6'2", 360-pound frame. William Martin, the plaintiff, filed a lawsuit with Brooklyn Federal Court claiming that the years he spent at the tiny desk traumatized him, the New York Post reported. A spokesman for the library said Martin's case is without merit. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. We take employee accommodations and concerns with the utmost seriousness. You didn't get him a freaking, lounge chair? Right? And are dedicated.
He's complaining. No, he's claiming it was a desk. What it really was being forced to wear the clown shoes as well.
Right. And are dedicated to treating our staff across the library with fairness and respect. The man, who worked in the library system for over 18 years, said his ordeal began in October of 2021 when he was transferred to the first floor service of the Nakaros Foundation Library. I cannot pronounce that. All right, library on on Fifth Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. The desk has a staggered countertop with about a 12-inch drop. I don't. Okay. He called his working area crampy in the lawsuit. All I sought was just a service desk with the appropriate accommodation for my physical attributes. Well, if you'd stop eating the patrons, maybe you would. Just putting it out there. His union intervened on his
So was I,
behalf at some
apparently.
point, getting him switched over to a different desk within the library.
So they
I
did their job.
yeah,
Mhm.
2 years
Brilliant.
later, in June of
Complained, they were
2023, a new assistant director was hired. This woman allegedly ordered Martin back to the Craftwork first floor desk.
I don't like big people. You go and sit in that tiny cubicle.
You are the cubicle. The director allegedly dramatically increased how often she put Martin at the small desk, which he said was detrimental to his health and safety. It was the director's way of bullying and intimidating him, according to the legal complaint. A few months later, Martin claimed he was falsely accused of falling asleep while working and later suspended.
The first he knew about was when somebody shook him awake.
That makes me wonder if that's the case. Okay, I look. I understand that when people are tall, because I'm almost all my family, right, with the exception of me, are fairly tall, right? And my wife and I are about the same height, but our children are all much larger
Are you
than
are you trying are you trying to tell us you're actually a red dwarf?
me. If that's what you want to go with. All right.
Mhm.
As far as height goes, right? My sons are all well over 6 foot. Okay. My daughters are all around 5'10" or so. All right, which is much taller than I am. All right, I'm only 5'6" and
Mhm.
a half, 5'7".
Do they all wear? Do all your family tend to wear horned helmets and carry battle axes?
No, no, they don't. But I will admit, when they grow beards, they look like they could.
What about your sons?
Okay.
Jensen was waiting for that one, so I was
Oh, really, really was.
actually
So
obligated.
yeah, no, hey, it all fits. You know, the son's the same way.
Your real name it doesn't happen to convey the title Allfather, does it?
Born anyway. But
Your,
And
your
can I
what
just
are
say,
your
as someone who works in an office, if they move you to a different location and it's not to do with your actual work, it might be because of his smell.
yeah,
Mm.
or his attitude, or both?
Yeah.
it could be.
Mostly it's the smell. That's why people get moved.
It's very possible. We don't know the situation with this guy. All right, really. So
That's what it is in our office anyway. They move you if you smell.
That
I
that
can
actually happened.
actually tell you what's wrong if you want to know. She doesn't like big butts and she cannot lie.
Green Badger,
that
first world problem. You're right. It is a first world problem.
actually happened to me. It was this one woman in this office I was working in. She didn't like me, and she complained quite a few times to the line managers, so they moved me, and I got moved back because everybody else in the office, yeah, went out of bat for us. So she got moved
Nice.
instead.
Nice.
Yeah, it's look, when you're working in an office or a group of people, personality conflicts are personality conflicts. And there are people who you will never get along with because your personalities just clash. This
And
idea
then you
that
get pickled.
I can get along with everyone. Trust me, there's somebody out there who you won't get along with. Just
I
because
can
they exist.
put,
Not because they've
I
done
can,
anything to you.
yeah, I can put aside my differences for the length of time I've got to be in work to get to at least cope with people I don't like. Outside of work, I will not have anything to do with them. I've done so before.
Well, yeah, but that's a grown up mentality. Try to apply
Yeah.
that to millennials
Yeah.
today.
I know millennials who can do that. To be perfect, in all seriousness, I think millennials get a bad rep. It's a
I'm like
minority.
1 year from being a Gen X.
What was that?
I'm like 1 year from being a Gen X.
Mm.
I'm a millennial.
She's a millennial.
Yes, you're proving my point here, B.
Well, I don't want to be a millennial.
You're one of the majority who gets a bad name because of the minority.
B,
Mm.
you
Being
think
nice to
hold on.
you.
Let's talk to B.
Mm.
B, are most of the people in your quote unquote millennial generation worth a damn or not?
No.
Just
I think you answered that. No. Sorry that I spoke over you, but
too
I
many
don't
of
think I
them.
was wrong.
Too many of them are spoiled. Far too
Yes.
many of them are
I
spoiled.
tend to get on with older people for a reason, I think.
You know, I'm not saying that happens with all of them, but if you look around, even my daughters would tell me they're like the people I grew up with are just freaking. I don't know what the hell's wrong with them.
Yeah, when it comes to B, I've realised something about her. In
Okay.
another world, in another life, she's Talia al Ghul.
That's a worrying concept. You might want to explain that for
doesn't
people
it?
that don't understand it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ra's al
Yeah,
Ghul's daughter.
no. Assume you're talking to someone who knows nothing. I don't understand, but there are people out there that won't know. Okay,
A world-class assassin.
that's better.
Who managed to assassinate no one?
That's also true.
I said in another life, in another world.
You mean when she was useful? Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm really glad I'm not you and nowhere near B.
No, I actually was complimenting. I was saying that the one time where Al Ghul was actually useful, not
No, you
in
said-
Green Bloody Arrow, where she was, to put it bluntly, useless.
Yeah, and then there's that horrible one from Batman Beyond where she actually had a soul removed and replaced with her dad's.
Huh. Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
that's pretty much what Batman said.
Yeah. Wow. Damn. Okay.
All right, let's do this next story.
Yes.
Ellen DeGenerate, all right, Cotswold's dreams submerged. Hollywood star's idyllic, multi-million-pound farmhouse is hit by floods with surrounding fields underwater. Just days after she and wife Portia de Rossi moved to the UK to flee Donald Trump's America.
Hey, do you wonder if all those pagan rites that Jeremy Clarkson's been doing in the Cotswolds had anything to do with it?
All right. You guys know about Ellen DeGeneres and what was it, Anne Heche?
Yes, but
Heche?
we don't care.
All right. Well, I just want to make up the point that Ellen DeGeneres is someone that drove a lesbian back to men. Just putting it out there.
Mm-hmm. That's quite impressive.
Right? Ellen DeGeneres, all right, his new life in the quaint English countryside has gone dramatically wrong after her home was swamped by astonishing floods just days after she moved in. The talk show superstar is living in an idyllic, multi-million-pound farmhouse in the Cotswold after deciding to immigrate from the United States in protest at Donald Trump's election win. But rather than enjoying the pastoral retreat, Ellen, 66, and her wife, Portia de Rossi, 51, have been left at the mercy of raging floods that have engulfed their multi-million-pound mansion. All right, dramatic images show the couple's 43-acre property in Cotswold has become swamped in a torrent of floodwaters following the devastating impact of Storm Bert. The couple were left virtually marooned for days after moving into their new home after a tributary of the Thames River, all right,
Thames,
whatever.
God's sake.
No, not whatever.
broke its banks. They came after the area was battered with days of torrential rain and winds up to 80 miles an hour. Roads surrounding the hideaway have been left impassable after being deluged in 5 feet of water, leaving
Deluged.
locals
So
trapped in their homes. Um,
Oh,
can I
hold
ask
on.
a
That one,
question?
that white thing that's sticking up and it's got a right angle. Is that Ellen DeGeneres' periscope?
Can I say something? For British people, when we buy houses, one of the things that we check is for flooding.
yes,
The fact she didn't do that just shows her and her age stupid.
That's actually true all across Europe, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact.
I would like to make a little point
Well, I
here.
don't speak for Europeans.
James, you should care for one reason. She might not like it and she may come back. Okay, you have been warned.
If we have our way, she'll get kicked. She'll be forced to go back.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me ask a question.
Go on.
Because it said that this is a 43-acre property, right, which has a farmhouse
Okay.
on it, and I imagine the surrounding area of the farmhouse
Which is small.
takes up about an acre or two. Okay, because that's
Okay.
just generally how these things are. But can you actually farm on 40 acres of land?
Yeah, right. Not her land because unless it's a fish farm.
You understand what I'm asking?
They will
Right?
be up for the flooding.
If it hadn't been flooded, all right, could this actually be a farm, or is this just like a?
Well, it says farmhouse, so yeah, judging by that, I would say yes, because you don't build a farmhouse in a place where you can't farm.
In answer to your question, Nomad, back into there. So basically, a long time ago, farming was not done on an industrial standard as it is nowadays. A farm like that would be expected to farm enough for itself to live on. Everyone else could quite simply go hang. It's only nowadays it's become open trading the way it has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but we're
even
talking about the Cotswolds here. We're not talking about a farm like in farmland.
It's
and
true.
even farms in like farmland, they're not like the industrial farms that you see in America.
No, that is also very, very true.
And the Cotswolds are full of posers.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, which is why that farmhouse is so expensive, because you've had people moving out of London and commuting back into London, and they grossly inflated the property values of the towns and villages they moved into, so the locals couldn't afford to live there anymore and had to move out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that
London
makes
is
sense.
surrounded by just
I mean, it makes a lot of sense what you guys are saying. I was just curious because to me, all right, like I said, if you're actually going to try and run a farm, if you're going to be a farmer, right?
He didn't buy that to run a farm.
You need to have at least, and I said this to Jensen, you need to have at least 180 acres.
Yeah.
Right. In order to have enough land to where you can do crop rotation and have a few animals, all right, to make a go of it as a farmer. Otherwise, you'll never make a go of it. You can't survive as on a farm like that. Now, if you have other income that you're relying upon, sure, okay, but you're not a farmer. I hate to say it. If you're just there to, oh look, I got Bessie the cow, and I've got Wilbur the pig, right?
Yeah, the thing is, if you're in Milton Keynes, Bessie the cow's made of concrete.
And I
Can
got a
I
field of alfalfa.
Yeah. Can I make a point here, Nomad? I think what you might want to consider that when they say farm, you guys would probably think homesteading.
Yes.
Probably a closer term.
Especially in the Cotswolds.
Yeah,
I don't mean that to be narky either. I'm actually trying to be honest.
Generally, what we see over here of American farms, they're places, even like, where it's mainly crop farming, the places where you can drive over them for over a day.
And still be in the same area.
Yeah, you don't get that over here.
No.
We're very good at, I suppose you could call it compact farming.
Yes. Like I say, farmsteading is probably the best description I can give you, mate.
Yeah, because we can take a small farm, which you wouldn't even consider able to support itself as a farming business and make it into a viable farming business.
Yeah.
With crop rotation and animals
Mm-hmm.
and people walking through it and getting chased and yelled at for leaving the rubbish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that last one wasn't actually a joke.
No, that's the worst part.
Okay, when bears attack, mauled at the zoo, stalked in the woods, savaged at the circus, and a kung fu battle at the top of a mountain. Astonishing footage of a man's most shocking encounters with bears. If it's a single
the
man,
best ones.
all right, who's getting encountered all these bears, bears just hate his guts. But obviously,
It's that John. It's that fisherman from John West, isn't it?
all right.
Oh no, not that joke. Come on.
Shattered skulls, pulped heads, being skinned alive are just some of the nightmare injuries humans have had to endure after coming face to face with a bear. No shit. People have proven
Just-
repeatedly that their strength is no match for the predator, with many walking away from their encounters with broken limbs, missing teeth, and fractured bones. Go
and
ahead.
stay
Jim.
away from the bear. That's literally what I want to say. Just stay away from the bear.
Somewhere in the North Woods of America, there are bears wandering about with necklaces made of human teeth.
See, now if I was a lone female in the woods, I would rather encounter a human man than a fucking bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking as a human male, if I was alone in the American woods, I'd rather encounter a lone bear than a feminist.
That's fair. Much safer. The bear is much safer.
Kind of hard to see the difference between the two.
Well, you know what you know exactly what one of them's going to do to you. You've got no idea what the feminist is going to do to you. And if she's
That's true. The bear will kill you.
Yeah.
Plus, of course, one is more hairy than the other. I mean, the poor bear.
Yeah.
She's a feminist.
While some incidents have taken place in the privacy of the animal's natural habitat, several beasts have unleashed their fury in front of horrified children at circuses and zoos as they bring their victims to the brink of death. Parents, children, and the elderly have been left haunted beyond imagination by their run-ins with the furry mammals. Do people think that bears are Pooh Bear? I mean,
Yes.
I hate to say
Yes,
this.
most people think that bears are just like they say on Winnie the Pooh or Paddington or something like that.
Although bear attacks on humans are rare, but they can be particularly savage. No shit, with predators having up to 42 teeth to help them tear apart meat or the human being they happen to be snacking on. It appears no place is safe, with brutal surprise attacks from the carnivores springing up all over the globe. The bears are on the march. They've been unleashed.
Yeah. Just wait till I unleash my genetic modification, soon you get bears, bipedal bears with opposable thumbs and swords.
From being tossed around.
Is there a video of these bears kung fu fighting?
I want to see that as well.
Yeah,
we have yet to go down far enough to find out. It appears no place is safe. All right, from being tossed around in the jaws of a polar bear to having your nose and upper limbs torn off in your face. All right, the Mail Online has taken a look at some of the most horrific bear attacks that are reported around the world. So let's go through this. Okay, let's view the gallery. All right. That's a black bear.
Okay, I'm going to say it. That's not black. That previous bear was not black. It's freaking brown. There's a subtle clue.
That's a sun
bear.
Oh,
yeah, fluffy.
This is Japan. In Japan, they don't have brown bears.
All right. All right. Explain why the frick it was brown then.
I don't know. I didn't raise this stupid thing in Japan.
Camouflaged. Okay. It's in disguise. Okay.
A woman only identified was spotted with her jeans around her ankles hanging onto her head over a wooden walkway.
Why her jeans around her ankles?
As while a polar bear lurks around the corner. Look, this is
that's fair.
This is Darwinism.
Why her jeans around her ankles?
She was getting ready for the bear. Oh, damn! I said that out loud.
It's Whitney, Wisconsin, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When it comes to bears, polar bears are the most vicious.
Well, polar bears
Yeah.
are.
They play with their food, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
The only person who's ever stood up to a polar bear and survived is that British institution. You know who I'm
Yes.
on about, Jensen.
Oh yes, Brian Blessed, amazing man, absolutely
Man-
amazing.
I
man-
also think that Keir may stand a chance. I think we should test that theory.
No,
Keir
no,
Starmer,
no.
yeah.
Keir Starmer, he'd take the bear down in one. I mean,
What
it's
if-
right
All the
there.
birds are dead.
Hold on. What have you got against bears? I mean, if he got bitten by a rabid bear, I'd feel sorry for the virus.
That's fair.
You were talking about the feminist here.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Let's be honest. If that bear was really deciding to go for it, that woman
Oh my
would
God, there's children there.
Oh, this
That
this
is
this,
probably
this kid is
his-
toast. This kid
Yeah.
is freaking toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Oh yeah, that bear is deliberately stalking him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not attacking right now because there's another human there.
Yeah. He's trying to work out which one he wants to eat first.
No, he's trying to work out if the other human's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're
But,
gonna put the
apparently
bear.
sometimes the
Bear can
bear-
be seen wearing roller skates, and for some reason, the bear probably isn't happy being on roller skates. It says,
I like
"Okay."
James's idea, by the way. Just like James's idea, Ellen DeGeneres and Portisha versus the bear. Fight. I'm okay with that. I would watch that.
Where's Burn?
Yeah, he's in doo doo.
Where's
Oh
Burn?
my God, that's the graphic.
Yeah, I only hope he had his will written.
Yeah,
Where-
that's Germany.
Burn is in Germany. Yeah.
Yes.
Because this guy is just getting tore up.
Yeah. That
Oh,
man is
Switzerland. That's what it
food.
is. Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland. Sorry.
Same difference. The rich Germans.
Yeah.
And rich French.
Mm-hmm.
And English as
Well,
well.
here's the question:
Oh,
what were you doing in the zoo in the zoo cage with the bear? Aside from being food for it.
There you go. You just given your own answer right there.
Yeah, he heard about the Darwin Award and he wanted his.
Oh, the bear comes back. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture of the guy. Oh shit, they're coming back. Sorry, Tal, you're on your own.
Yep.
I can't help. I'm too busy videoing this.
Yep.
Yep. This is one of the dangers of cell phones.
Fully tranquilized. See the dart? We actually hit it.
Yeah.
Oh,
At least it was only tranked. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
She actually doesn't
Looks
look as
better.
bad
Oh.
as she could have
Oh.
with a bear attack. To be honest, I know it's
Did you
horrific.
undo all your surgery?
Yeah.
She's lucky she has eyes.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Poor on one.
Well, this guy got mauled pretty good too.
Yep.
Oh.
Arm.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what I was thinking now.
No.
Bear got your nose.
Look, I'm gonna bop you on the nose. Bop. See? What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens if you
think
bop
that's
them on
bad?
the nose.
You think that's bad? You should see what. This guy survived a bear attack. You should see what that woman who was savaged by her best friend's chimpanzee looks like.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that was another thing. Look now, can I ask a question? What woman is going to climb inside of the frickin' polar bear enclosure?
Feminist.
All right.
Yes.
Let's give her some benefit of the doubt. Maybe her child fell in and she was saving her child.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
I can't really disagree
I
with
think
that.
that's the only reason that I would get in with a bear. You know.
Yeah.
I love this. As the woman tries to escape, her predicament. One of the bears pulls. Oh, so it's multiple bears munching away on this poor
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she's even alive.
Yeah.
So are the bears.
Yeah.
Oh, did she make it out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
like
pulling her.
you
They're
said,
pulling
they're
her.
playing.
They're pulling her to safety.
Yeah, I think the bears were basically playing.
It lifted me off the ground and slammed me back on the ground. It was like playing tug of war with your dog, but he was playing with my arm and ripping it apart.
I've actually heard of dogs doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, but dogs can do it. A bear can do it on its own.
The thing
Yeah.
is, it's not just bears; it's any animal. You don't treat any animal with due respect. You're going to wind up mauled.
A 500
This is
Even
true.
even a house cat.
A 530-pound grizzly bear charged at a pair of archery hunters in the Caribou Targhee National Forest and sunk its teeth into one of the arms, puncturing the skin and bone. The bear died after the duo shot it 24 times. They freaking
After the
filled
duo
it
shot
with
24 times. You mean after the other guy's mate shot it 24 times?
Yeah, that's fair, actually.
Well, I suspect that he probably initially shot it. Going, watch this. Thunk. Looks mad.
Oh, hey, look! Hey, you know what it's like in the thick forest. You see some brown fur, and you think, "Hey, look, a deer! Whap! Oh shit, it's a bear!"
Yeah.
And a
But
Thai
that
monastery took a turn for the worse when Bing the bear attacked. Why do you have bears in a monastery?
I don't know. I'm
He
not
was
Thai.
pulled down into the enclosure and mauled by the 500-pound predator. Right?
No.
As he lay bleeding, the group tried to scare
Yeah,
the
but what
bear
about
off
the
with
bear?
a large metal pole. Stop mauling our buddy! Yeah, that's going to have an effect. Alright.
I mean, it might have been a bit more effective if it was a large pole-mounted cattle prod.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That.
They're not entirely. I heard that they're not entirely effective against a bear that's in on the kill.
Yeah,
No.
Nathan was helpless to get up as the bear dragged him around the enclosure with ease. Well, yeah, they are powerful animals.
We're on about animal attacks at the moment, but here's an interesting one I remember reading. In India, one of the regions where they suffer heavily from tiger attacks, they stopped the tiger attacks. You know how?
Go on.
They got the field workers to wear masks on the backs of their heads.
Yes. Yes.
Because the tigers think that the human is looking at them, so they don't attack because it's their instinct to attack from.
They're an ambush
Snake.
predator. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bear that mauled a man in Thailand is taken to a fat camp.
Oh, so it's going to come back fitter and faster. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I really don't.
Oh, I know what it is. It's been taken to a fat camp to make those little porty bastards run up that fucking hill.
Pretty much, yeah.
Knife maker Todd Orr survived a horrific bear attack in
That
2016
has
while
to be a
hiking near Ennis,
translation error, right?
Montana.
What was that?
There has to be a translation error, fat camp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
gotta
gotta be.
be.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's just one claw. That's just one swipe of the claw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like a near miss swipe as well.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if it had actually hit, there would be
An empty place. Yeah.
Yeah. There would be 3 track marks, and they would have gone through the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of look. Bears they're not cuddly creatures.
You know how
They're
dangerous
not
bears are?
Smokey the Bear. They're there to be left alone. Okay.
Do you know how dangerous bears are?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain lions avoid them. Mountain lions are faster than bears.
Yes.
They're almost as strong. They've also got the added advantage of having those claws. But a bear's so strong, one blow from a bear crushes a mountain lion's skull.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even wolves don't hunt bears. Wolves in packs don't hunt bears.
Wolf packs will hunt a solitary brown bear.
Yeah, wolf packs.
Even in a pack, they try to avoid that though. They would much rather not try to because.
No, I didn't. I didn't say wolf packs. I said wool packs. Yes, Jensen, the pub from Emmerdale.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 2 or 3 dozen sheep attack a bear, and that's the last scene was a bear.
Hey, that's the thing, though. Can you imagine that? A wolf's hunting some sheep, and the sheep turn on and start hunting him. The sheep would win because the wolf wouldn't know what the fuck's going on.
This is
Deer
true.
wearing a high
is raising questions.
deer wearing high visibility vests seen wandering British town. See, they have vests on to identify
Columbia.
themselves now.
British Columbia town, not a
Yeah.
British town. A fake
Yes,
British town. 'cause
Canada.
it's Canada.
It is wearing a vest.
It is.
That's what happens when you piss off the witch. When you mess around with the little witch doctor's daughter, mate.
Can you imagine this? Let's take a
That
look
used,
at this.
that used to be a road worker.
Yeah, they used to be a road worker.
Yeah, he was messing about with the local shaman's fucking daughter, wasn't he?
Not for long.
Seven. Why am I on all fours? Where are my trousers?
You can see that it is. It's like the whole
The
thing.
entire
Is there.
jacket. Yeah.
You can
He's
also
not
tell that
wearing it,
thing
it's
is well fed.
Actually, it is wearing it properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was I'm right. It's a transformed road worker.
Residents of the northern British Columbia community are trying to solve a mystery of a local deer seen wearing around a high visibility vest. Andrea Arnold, a McBride resident who works as a reporter for the Rocky Mountain Goat newspaper.
Wow.
Rocky Mountain Goat News. I'd like to see that one in Washington, D.C. trying to interview Trump. Yeah, I'm Andrea from Rocky Mountain Goat News.
You know, the funny thing is, I could actually see probably one of them actually being allowed in there, just literally for shits and giggles.
You know, I wish. Hey, do you know animal tax? There's another thing I wish I could do.
Go
you
on.
know these these Palestinian marches in London.
Yeah.
I wish I could teleport in a herd of angry moose.
That's not bad, but I reckon you just bung a bunch of honey badgers off of the side of a building. Because let's be honest, the honey badgers are going to hit the floor and be pissed off. It ain't going to take any damage.
Yeah, you don't have to piss the moose off; they'll be pissed off anyway.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah, moose make bears look safe.
Well, moose are dangerous. There's no doubt about that. From the McBride snapped photos when she spotted the deer walking around with an unusual garment. They're everywhere around town, but this one was wearing a high vis vest. Right? I did a triple take. Like, wait, am I actually seeing this? Local resident Joe Rich also spotted the deer. It said that the animal would not be able to don a vest without help.
Yeah, it couldn't do the buttons up.
Right? It's zipped up. Right? Rich said someone had to tackle the thing and put the jacket on. At first, I thought maybe it got tangled up in, but at second thought, that's not the case. Sergeant Eamon MacArthur of the British Columbia Conservation Officer Service said an investigation has been opened and officers are determining what, if anything, to do about the West Brain deer.
Right.
All I'm seeing is venison. Okay.
No, let's be fair here.
Have a good time, Green Badger.
The one thing they need to do, the budget. The one thing they need to do is get that vest off the deer. It's not only uncomfortable for it, but it's putting the deer in danger from predators.
Yes.
Well, I think that probably most likely what this was is somebody's pet and got out.
No, it could could have been fucking bunch of fucking drunken kids who've. Yeah, it's Canada. There's nothing else to do there.
No, would you actually like to know what happened? I can tell you what happened. This is how PETA is going to protect all the wild animals. They can put them closed. You can't shoot them then.
Hey, that's God! Too.
No, now we're getting
I know.
Now we're getting pictures from the fucking Islamic only fans.
Ew.
Okay. Final story of the day, folks. Final story. 2 goats detained after being caught chasing pedestrians.
Yes!
Police in Washington rounded up a pair of escaped goats that kept wandering through the city and chased pedestrians. Kent Police
I wish
Department
I'd made
said
video for this.
on social media the two goats were spotted in the
Oh
northern part of
no.
the city and detained for bad
Oh
behavior.
Oh,
Right.
no.
We're not sure where they came from, but the two of them got it in their heads that chasing people around would be a good time. Don't goad us wrong. Oh my god. All right. They are cute. No, but no kidding around. Please stop. All right.
Oh.
It's not okay for people or goats to chase others. Right. The department's
You know what they should have done?
what?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Just let them wander, but but fit them with those with sensors and an alarm, so when they get closer, there'd be a beep warning, beep warning.
Yeah, the goats were not booked for
I
their
would
nefarious
probably
acts,
say
but were
we
instead given a
could.
comfy ride to the animal shelter. Go
Hold
ahead.
on, hold on.
Sorry, B.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
B.
I was just saying that they will eat your clothes. So I got in a fight with one of those little goats. I was going to say the word.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yeah, he was trying to eat my trousers, so we got into a fight. And
You can see it all, can't you?
B,
I don't know what you mean.
B, every time you come up with a story, you just go up in my estimation.
Uh, yeah, goats will eat anything. That's true. So that was
Yes.
that was the final
Go-
story.
hey,
Unless you guys have something, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream.
goats
Yeah,
have
I'm good.
all. Yeah. Oh, well, if that's the case, use up and fuck off, can't you? He's finished.
Yeah, getting in early enough.
He started early because I cut him off too quickly last night.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
thanks for coming out, everybody. Have a good time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.